I'm Aiden Baker, play guitar with this project BBS and a bunch of different other projects too.
My name is Andrea and I'm the drummer of this BBS project.
That's always a little complicated because people have a lot of preconceptions. Usually we say ambient jazz because we make improvisational music and jazz is associated with improv, but we're using more ambient textures in our improvising, so it's not a traditional jazz. So by putting those two words together, we try to sort of play with people's preconceptions of what ambient music is and what jazz music is. Well, I mean, we all come from different musical backgrounds, so part of the interest for us in playing together is that we all have different inspirations that kind of come from different places and all meet together, and that sort of clash of different styles and different influences is what makes it interesting for us. As for why we play it, I mean, part of that comes from a dissatisfaction with mainstream music that can be very simplistic and boring. So we play more experimental music to challenge ourselves as well as challenging listeners. That's not to say there's not lots of really good experimental music out there too, but obviously mainstream music tends to be more safe. Most of the stuff that I release is either independent through myself or with smaller labels rather than bigger labels. Part of that has to do with the market and that bigger labels aren't interested in this kind of music because it's not saleable or marketable and they just want to release stuff that's going to sell. But personally, it's more, we have a lot more control when we release it on our own. And that comes down to, like, you know, the layouts, the design, how many records we do, where it goes, who gets copies of it to sell in the shops and stuff. Minutia that's involved in the process, but at the same time it gives you a lot more control, as I said, and also kind of like awareness of how the music is getting out there and who's listening to it. When you work with a major label or a bigger label, there's that sense of remove between you, the artist, and the listener. That really depends, on territory, country, habits. Like in Germany, vinyl sells way better than CDs, especially in Berlin where we're based, because there's a tradition for vinyl there and CDs aren't very popular. But if you go to Paris, for example, people don't buy vinyl so much there, they buy CDs. And that's, I'm not entirely sure why, but that's just it's kind of a cultural thing, I guess.
I mean, our music fits also better on a vinyl because of the sound.
Yeah, so the vinyl's more suitable to the sort of organic nature of what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, as in terms of a presentation, by splitting it up into two sides, it makes people pay a bit more attention to the album instead of a CD where you can just put the whole thing on and have it in the background. And vinyl's a bit more participatory in the listening process.
Yeah.